I'm playing my knee shield, This is very common. Hands up and around here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hand in upside down onto the lapel down here of the t-shirt, and then I'm gonna push. This becomes my frame. So all I'm doing right now is the typical frame. I'm waiting for him to push in and become a little bit more aggressive, start trying to frame back up, okay? So right here, I go from down. When his head shifts, I'm gonna loop over the top, okay? Now that this is across his neck, okay, I don't really care so much about whether or not my knee shield's in place. What I'm gonna end up doing through here though, is I'm going to frame. So I'm pulling the t-shirt on this side, and I'm gonna frame into his neck and finish my loop. Now, if for some reason I don't frame here, and I bring him in, this pressure is gonna become my sweep to pry the t-shirt around his neck and start pulling this way. Here I go. I wouldn't get swept by that. Yeah, you'll pass out. So when you try to resist the sweep, you're tightening my choke. So again, as I'm in, I grab upside down and push. As he's driving in, flare that elbow and tuck it around the neck. Like I said, from here, I don't really care about my knee shield anymore. So at that point, I just get rid of my knee shield so I can pull him in tighter. Continue to pull. At this point in time, you can go easily into a sweep if you like, or you can frame up like a loop choke and actually go for your tap at that point. All right, let's do a shot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one of the things that's unique about t-shirts is the fact that t-shirts are a 360 loop. Gis are a 180, and then they just kind of fold over each other. So we play individual lapels. With the t-shirt, it's a full 360. So when I'm here and I come in, here's his t-shirt. Again, I'm going to grip his shirt close to his body over here. Okay, again, the way it works, just like with the gi, the better the grip, the better the choke. If I want the choke to be on this side, good luck grabbing it over here. You're just not. The stretching and everything else, I'm not creating what I want. I need to grab closer to where I want the choke to actually be. So when I'm here and I'm controlling that, okay, I'm gripping his shirt, again, over here by the side of his neck, okay? Now through here, I'm going to throw my elbow. Now I'm doing two things. One, my arm, when it comes over, you see how my elbow is grabbing onto his neck? And then I'm going to be pulling with my elbow to kick his neck to the side. At the same time, I'm pulling his shirt and I'm anchoring on the other side of his chin. And then if, when he's getting his neck cranked, he thinks there's potentially going to be a way out by lifting up his head and trying to get rid of that tension, then my arm will loop underneath the back of his neck, and then I'll get the full loop that's going to go on. But even if I don't, as I'm here, like I said, good grip right by the side of his neck. I throw. Notice how I just cleared his chin. Now I put my elbow to the ground. Okay? So I'm not sitting back here. I put my elbow to the ground. Now through here, I'm pulling on his lapel and I'm pulling on his head to create my choke. If for some reason he picks his head up to start getting rid of the neck crank, then my hand literally goes underneath his head, but I'm still holding on to the t-shirt. Again though, I have to be tight to the side of his neck so that when I push it across, I get a better bite. If you're grabbing out here and then I try to push it over, it's going to be loose. There's not going to be enough actual tension. All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Normally would not have been able to exist. So Matt goes in my guard, okay? And again, I'm breaking him down. Oh no! And I'm just holding. So now, I'll pull this hand in so I can hold on tight, find his lapel, okay, and pull it up as far as I can and transfer it to the hand that's behind his back, okay? So again, this part, when they're stretched out, you might have to tug on it a little bit to feed that extra little bit. This hand now goes behind his back and I find the other side of that lapel. And again, it's all connected. So when I'm pulling this side, this pulls up, and when I feed this one and it pulls, you can see it's tightening directly into the front of his neck. So when I come in here, I'll grab, feed as high as I can, make my connection. This one feeds into the back of his neck. I'm trying not to grab his rash guard at the same time, okay? Now through here, my elbows are gonna pry down, and I'm gonna pull. So I'm pulling in the back of his neck, and what this is doing is tightening the front of his t-shirt and cinching it up into his neck, okay? And again, as they're getting stretchy and the like, when I'm here, this one has to be the deepest. And don't worry, I mean, I'm just feeding my fingers in and I'm literally grabbing as much of his t-shirt as I can. Then I take this one in, find that lapel without grabbing his rash guard, give it a good little tug, and then feed it behind his neck. And now we just pull the X's, pull them that way. It's a unique one. That doesn't happen in the gi. That's a unique to the t-shirt. And again, it's because it's a 360 around his neck. So anything I can do that pulls both sides up feeds the t-shirt into the front of the throat. So I gotta do my guard. Okay, and again, I'm coming in. Oh no! Okay, pin him down. This hand is gonna control him. This hand's gonna come in. Now, you'll see videos where, like Henner does one, where it's like, oh, feed this up. Fuck that, okay? Have you ever tried to do that? Like when somebody's resisting you and you're trying to feed their t-shirt up here to bunch it up and everything else, that doesn't really work, okay? What I have found is when I'm here is that I can control him, okay? And I can find almost always his sleeve. And my hand can go inside his sleeve and then can come out over here, okay? So now I've connected, I've kind of made this little loop, okay? Now that's where I would have gathered this up, and if I was wearing a gi, I would take your lapel from down here, feed it up to your head, and do the same thing. So again, when I'm here, I'm gonna control him. Through here, I can find that sleeve, put my arm inside, and then feed to the outside. And notice through here, just kind of coming up, and I'm still holding this part. So notice, I'm kind of grabbing my own hand, but I'm holding on to his t-shirt over here, okay? Now, a lot of people will start trying to posture up to pull their head out. So when he does, let him, okay? Now through here, pull, remember, don't smash the booger. Wipe the booger. Wipe the booger. Wipe the booger. Now the good part through here is I can go in, feed, grip. Now I have one hand free and I still have a grip on his throat and I still have a choke that can be engaged. So this is again creating an Ezekiel variation. I slide up, loop it to the front. This one's holding on to his t-shirt. Again, that's our loop. Push it through. The only thing that's unique on this one now is that the loop is connected directly to my wrist. So if I can feed it and then grab, I can hold and maintain my pressure now and have one hand free. That means now I can start to shift his arm over while the choke's engaged, meaning at that point in time, if we're like legit fighty, okay, at that point in time, I don't have to let go of the choke to advance my position. I could be already into my Ezekiel, then use my arm, throw you aside, and start to advance to something else. Can you see it?
No, I think I got it.
All right, see it. 1, 2, 3. Shirt down here, and I think this is going to be a good choke. It's not. Okay, first grip needs to be tight to wherever you want the choke to be, especially the t-shirt. It's going to stretch. It's going to move. Okay, so if I grab down here, okay, and now I go to pull, I have to eat up all of this space. So just like with a regular gi, first grip needs to be tight. It needs to be in. All right, go left, turn. This is my favorite bow and arrow. So from here, when I get in position, I'm gonna take my hand right here. You can see I'm open that shirt, reach under and feed. Again, the better the grip. If I'm down here, it's gonna be tough. Open, push the t-shirt in and make your grip. Literally grab as much of that fabric as you can. Okay. Now through here, what I like to do is, a lot of people are expecting me to go into a clock choke. So I'm gonna put my hand on the inside of his thigh and I'm gonna pull him to the floor. And my hand now goes immediately underneath his neck, karate chops to the back, and here's your choke. That's very traditional, okay? Now, as soon as I break people down, I put them onto their side, they almost always try to get back to their knees and come back up. So this is what I expect, okay? So I'm in, feed, break him down, and put my knee over the top. My hand goes underneath, don't even worry about a grip, and all I'm gonna do now is fall, and the choke is already engaged. And at this point in time, it's not a question of whether you want to roll. Yeah. You will roll. If you don't, the choke is already there. This is why the roll will inevitably happen. I don't have to try to make him roll. I just need to roll. And that tension on his shirt will already get into play. Okay, I call this a Statue of Liberty. Okay, and the reason why is because of that high arm position. So again, I'm in, grip that t-shirt, break him down, and my knee goes immediately over the top. I underhook his arm, and now I just fall. Now this is where the magic's gonna happen. Open your left leg, so we can go on top of his shoulder, pull it like guard, and here's the Statue of Liberty, this hand. So now when I extend, the choke is already in, and then if we need it, the arm is connected for the arm bar.